Wisconsin Foodie would like to thank the Wisconsin Foodie would like to thank the following underwriters. Wisconsin Foodie would like to thank the following underwriters.
How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm great, man. I'm so good. So good.
The week has passed, and we are back.
Thanks so
together.
Together.
Again.
No, that's right. Breaking bread.
Not much has happened this week.
No. This has been a real snoozer of a week.
Yeah.
I just want to say to all the communities that have been adversely impacted by some of the weather systems that have come through the state. My gosh, I growing up in Lafarge, I'm no stranger to floods, and I know how devastating they can be. I know how difficult that can be for the communities. But I had the opportunity on Friday. I was up near Plover. I was actually in Stevens Point, and I got pinned down in one of those torrential thunderstorms. And there's something to be said about driving through different communities and then hearing each one of their tornado sirens go off cruising through town.
Well, especially when you got the canoes
Yeah.
and the Texas board.
Yeah. It was a serious.
Dog. You had a dog?
I had a dog later. I had to go back up to Rhinelander. So I had the dog in Rhinelander for the couple days I was up there.
If it would have flooded and you would have gotten stuck, at least you would have had 2 canoes to get out and save all the other people.
Try. That Stevens Point area, there's a lot of water moving through there. I mean, it's no joke. And New London, have you seen New London? New London is completely flooded out. The Wolf River, a 100-year flood at least, maybe a five. And those communities, there's one that I always mispronounce, Shockton. Shocti-on. Shockton.
Well, we'll hear about it if Luke got that right or wrong. Let us know in the chat.
I'm sorry that I can't pronounce it, but I am thinking about you guys, and
I think I've got Mizomani.
Dude, like every week.
That's not it. It's Manny.
Hey.
Why do I go with Ma?
You get, Mom. Hey,
Damn
it's hard.
I thought I had it this week. I was so proud of myself.
I'm always proud of you, Arthur.
Mezomani. I'm sorry to the people of Mezomani. I really like it.
They probably turned this show off
a long time ago.
The second or third time.
Long time ago.
It really, but it's a tough one.
Well, tonight we've got 2 special guests. We've got Jeremy Pavelski, who was on the show this evening. You saw him walking the fields, and I don't know if you caught it, but he did a nice little dance in the drone shot.
Oh my gosh.
Excited that I put that in there.
Yeah,
but,
or not.
It'll be nice to catch up with Jeremy to see what's happening on the farm, see how the weather's affected the farm, the plant.
Yeah.
Right now. I know potatoes and rain do not love each other, especially at this point of the season.
Yeah.
We also have Dana Rady from the Wisconsin Potato, Vegetable and Potato Growers Association. Potato and Vegetable Growers Association.
I love it. I think that's one of the. Obviously, people know that we grow up in Wisconsin, but there isn't necessarily this deep understanding when folks can go to a grocery store and pick up a brand as iconic as Lay's. There's a good chance that those potatoes might have come out of the soils of our great state.
I love that.
No better flex, a product that everyone across the world. I mean, I have no idea how many Lay's varieties there are. But
can you guess?
Oh, I don't want to do that. Because you know who is going to have that answer?
Who?
Jeremy Pavelski.
Oh, Jeremy does not know how many. He's probably Googling it right now. Jeremy's probably Googling that right now. I can see you in the background here, Jeremy, Googling. So,
good for you, Jeremy.
You know the question I have tonight?
What's that?
He may know this one. I think he's going to know this one. Should I save it for him or should I lay it on you?
Okay,
I got one. I did, had a little time today to actually think about the live stream and came up with one question.
One question you got. That's good, man. One is better than none.
We got 2 more episodes to go this season. 2 more episodes. Can you guys believe it? Thank you for those who've been with us for the last 10 weeks.
Yeah.
11 weeks.
Yeah.
It has been such a great season. I've loved every single one of these episodes. And, I think maybe it's in my mind only, but I feel like we get better and better every season. This is the 18th year I've been making Wisconsin Foodie. Luke's been on. This has got to be your 10th year, 7th year, 8th year.
And you know what? It's my lucky number. So like, I'm thinking like the best things are still coming down the pipe.
So when we hit year 20, that'll be your 10th year.
That'll be my 10th year.
Oh my gosh, milestones. We have only just begun to crack the surface of creativity around here on Wisconsin Foodie.
Yep. And you know, it's great. I'll take milestones like that every single day, as opposed to like kidney stones, because those I've heard are terrible. You drink a lot of green tea, which probably helps those out a lot, though, huh?
It sounds like the chat is saying we have we look good.
Yeah.
Which, you know, we spent a lot of time in the bathroom earlier today just doing each other's makeup and hair.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
Thank you, Beth. But we've got an odd audio thing happening, and there's a little pixelation. But we're trying to make it work here. If it gets better or worse, just let us know. We're flying by the seat of our pants here. I think you're fine here, Luke.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Just to make sure, you would be surprised how quickly bad audio can ruin an entire taping experience. We've been no stranger to that. Is that because was your mic plugged in?
It I pulled it out of my pocket, and so maybe it wasn't necessarily, in there that well. Anyways, I really just go with the flow. So please let us know in the chat if it's horrible and you can't understand us. We have 13, 15 people watching, so maybe it's gotten better. I don't know. We can't tell. We're just here doing this thing. So let us know what you guys hear or see.
Real quick question.
Yep.
What's your favorite way to eat a potato?
I wonder if you could rephrase that in a way.
No, I'm going to ask you the question that you hate.
I don't have a favorite way of eating potatoes. I love potatoes, and I love to eat them in so many different ways that there's no one way to eat a potato.
You got to have one. We're going to a restaurant, okay? We're going to a restaurant, and you're going to, okay, sir, your steak comes with the choice of hash browns, French fries, baked potato, whipped potato, potato salad, or a pile of potato chips. Like, which one?
Okay, I'm going to go, and it's not my favorite.
Okay.
But if I had to pick, and in the right setting.
In the right setting, of course.
Now, excuse my, non-chefiness here, but what's the potato that has like 100 layers?
Oh, Hasselback. Oh, no, that's pave. Pave,
potato pave.
Yeah, potato pave. That is good.
I like a pave. I like the little crisp, the little on that. Then you get the soft interior. A pave is like, if I was going to get, see, the thing is, if you get steak, there's so many different ways you can have that potato with the steak. Right? I feel like they were meant to be together. The French fries, sometimes steak frites.
Yep.
The pave, baked potato, classic in sub clubs. I think potatoes and meat and potato just go together.
You should. I hope that you have the opportunity to rewind part of this live stream at some point, because seeing the look on his face when it came out of his mouth, the meat and potato. Yeah, it was a real mind bomb over here. Well, thanks for asking. I really like the the small boilers, those like little reds, or the when you get them just right, like the fingerlings. You like fingerlings? You like those fingerlings?
I like even more to jump on your
ahead.
favorite style of eating potato. But I like when you boil those things, you put them on a parchment paper, and you smash them.
Oh yeah.
And then you roast them.
Yep.
You throw a little Parmesan cheese. You throw a little cheese, your favorite cheese, maybe some Gruyere.
Sure.
You throw a little Parmesan in there. It gets all crispy.
Did you say Parmesan? We're just making up for. I mean,
Parmesan.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good.
Is that not cheese?
No, you're right on the mark.
Okay.
But it was just the way you said it. It was funny. It was like Mazzamani, or
Yeah,
It's cool.
the old brain isn't working.
Just do it. We're all doing the best that we can.
Doing the best I can, Luke.
Yeah.
Great episode. What you think? I know you watched it intently tonight here at Cafe.
Well, we had a couple things moving and shaking, but I gotta say, this was it's hard to go into a type of farming that I really have very little experience with. Alsum and Sterling were my first experiences on real potato farms. I know that I have one down here, an organic one, Triple Organics, but nothing really prepared me for the size and scale of Heartland.
Oh.
And the thing that I really, really appreciated about this, that's really hard to translate at home, is the level of
George Seaman just walked in?
yeah, the former CEO of Organic Valley. Yeah. Welcome
Like
to Viroqua.
starstruck.
Yeah, welcome to Viroqua.
He just looked at me.
The thing about it, the technology that Jeremy and his whole crew uses really, really left an impression with me.
Yeah.
And then seeing, the Food and Farm Exploration Center, I'd be remiss if I said that Davey Lynch and getting to hang out with Davey, that was such a great time. Jeremy and his family and the entire team at the Food and Farming Exploration Center were so accommodating. We just basically had free will to run around, and I got the camera out. I got some.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of my eggs. Yeah, and I gotta say, like towards the end of the season, I was kind of onto something there.
No, I love if you guys did you watch the credits? If you watch the credits, you saw Luke. He was positioned perfectly for a shot, right? He was in a little nook, and sometimes as camera guys, we got to get ourselves in these nooks in the right position, because we only do pretty much handheld camera work on Foodie. That's like a big staple of what we do. So Luke, he was set up, he was in position, he was getting the shot, right? And he was really locked in. And then, a fan came up to him and started talking to him.
Yeah.
And, and so I shot that whole experience, but I did just leave in the Luke perched up on the little there
on the ledge. And I will say, it's a very different experience when you're watching things from a distance and you're like seeing things come into the actual taping sequence. It is a little bit hard being recognizable in those situations. Just, hey, isn't that the
I know.
the guy
You try to just be like, I always try to just I feel like I disappear when I have a camera in my hands. I feel like I'm part of the shadows and I'm just, getting, typically nobody notices me. But when you've got the camera, it's a whole different sort of scenario.
It throws people for a loop. If they're like, what?
Yeah.
You don't film this and like what? How does this work? And in the reality, a minuscule amount of footage that I might take ends up in an episode. But I really feel like that road trip was good. What an impressive story.
Yeah.
And this is one of those pieces that I think, going back to the initial point that I made, people know that we are an agricultural powerhouse in the upper Midwest. But when you start going, potatoes to potatoes with other states, Wisconsin, we crush it.
These stories, I know we spend a lot of time talking about the smaller farms, the family farms, the smaller producers, but I think there's such a compelling story in the bigger producers as well. You look at somebody like a Kikkoman, who they're getting soy from all over, right? Wisconsin and beyond. But, whenever you sit down to drink, or you have not drink, I hope you're not drinking soy sauce. My son drinks soy sauce.
Okay.
If you're eating Kikkoman soy sauce, that's being produced here in Wisconsin. You got
no, I just waved at a guy that I know. I know Jay over there. He's great. I'm so sorry.
No. Eye contact?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But with Lay's potato chips as well, there's a sense that you're probably eating Wisconsin potatoes when you're eating a Lay's potato chip. And there's a lot of pride in that.
Heck yeah.
So, meeting folks like Jeremy who are doing things on such a different level, bigger scale, the innovation and the technology and with that said, with the passion that also goes into it, 5th generation. And Jeremy, is a very passionate potato man,
Yeah, and his partner, his wife,
Alicia,
also an absolute powerhouse.
We really wanted her on camera, but she wasn't into it, so we went with Jeremy.
And I get this, as someone who is also intelligent, the real secret sauce sometimes is those strong people behind the scenes, and Ruthie does. Alicia just has a way of being able to lift Jeremy up. Jeremy was high energy the entire time. That guy really takes what he does very seriously, and he loves it.
Yeah,
he loved it.
Hey, with that said, we're just leaving him hanging. He's been watching this for the last 15 minutes. So let's get Jeremy in here. Before we get Jeremy in here, though, we want to know what's your recommended potato style. So in the chat here, let us know, how do you like to make potatoes? What's the quintessential Wisconsin potato style? Let us know. In the meantime, time, Mr. Jeremy Pavelski. Oh,
Psych.
we gotta figure this out.
Well, hello, guys.
Jeremy.
Jeremy, what's
Oh,
happening?
yeah, long time no see.
I know. It seems like yesterday.
Yeah, it does. Like, I've been waiting for this for months. I am so excited.
Oh man, tell us how you felt about it. Like, how did it land?
Yeah, no, I loved it. I think you guys, I mean, great work, great storytelling as usual. I think that's why you're on 18 years, which I did not realize. And I mean, you know, Luke, they've kept you around for 10, so you're definitely doing something right. Congratulations.
Let's not give him the 10 yet, Jeremy. You still got 2 more to go. You can't say that
Oh,
until
okay,
you
sorry, I jumped the gun.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny when you go into a TV show where you do a project like this and you're looking, you get down into the years, you're like, yeah, if we do this 10 years, we're successful. Once you get to 20 years, you start to think to yourself, oh, we've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we're successful, but we're all getting kind of old.
Yeah, that's okay. You know, it's part of the process. Jeremy, you know, since we were last together, I keep reflecting back, number one, on the Food and Farm Exploration Center and just what a fantastic addition that is to the Clover community. You know, you really do provide a cultural resource. And it was great the day that I was there. Remember the tour buses that were pulling up?
Yeah.
Right? So, you know, just the fact that people travel in and maybe it's recognizing something about the way that they eat or the foods that they eat, they see a little bit behind the scenes, and it's really important. I think it gives a tremendous amount of credibility to the
beauty of that day is you had, at the beginning when we first got there, you had a group of like very small children that were interacting with the space, right? They were shopping, they were eating plastic food, they were playing the games. And then, a couple hours later, a tour bus of, folks in their 80s and 90s showed up. And they were basically doing the same thing. They were shopping, they were eating the plastic vegetables, and they were playing the games. They weren't eating plastic vegetables.
Yeah.
But it's just seeing the interactivity there and people really getting into those, the exhibits that you guys have, and just like that, people were immersed into it. And I think there's so much to learn, but in such a fun way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Exploration Center has been fantastic, and just having such a great experience with so many people and such great feedback. It's one of those things that I think it's really setting the stage for a lot of Wisconsin agriculture as well.
Yeah.
Helping people understand where their food comes from, teaching them how to grow food, how to utilize technology, what really goes on. And quite honestly, it wouldn't be here if it wasn't for a lot of folks coming together from the industry, from finance folks, from customers, and a lot of other people who are just as passionate about agriculture as we are. So I want to make sure that we don't forget that this is a whole community that really came together from the agriculture space to make it happen and really promote that vision on gearing up, teaching people, again, not just where their food comes from, but hopefully getting that excitement, getting that passion built for, the future producers, future farmers in the world, because it's needed. There's not too many of us out there anymore.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Ruthie and I had the opportunity on Sunday, our youngest is in the FFA, and going to the FFA annual banquet, it is absolutely imperative that next generation, really does get engaged and get involved in this. One of the things that I wanted to ask about on camera, and we may have covered this when we were hanging out, but tell me a little bit about the educational background and like the role of education in the way that you guys do business at Heartland Farm.
Yeah, I mean, education's always important. There's always new ways of doing things. There's new studies that come out, new technologies that are available. And we take that to heart, over at our farm. It's that continuous learning, continuous education process, based upon what new information is available. So we do a lot of that in-house, with our own team and online resources. We also bring in a lot of folks from outside of the industry.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I think is always unique from an education standpoint is being able to see how other industries interact and how other industries do things. because one thing that we don't like saying at Heartland is this is the way it's always been done. It's really not a very acceptable answer to us anymore, or it really hasn't been. It's constantly driving to get better every single day, because there is no such thing as perfection, and the only way you can do that is by reading, learning, trying new things, testing out new techniques, working with the University of Wisconsin and other researchers. It's one of those fantastic things.
I was gonna say, Jeremy, with all this weather, what's happening on the farm? Are you guys in a good spot? And where are you at in the season so far with potatoes?
Yeah, so good question. There's definitely been a lot of rain. I think Mother Nature can turn off the spigot, but I don't know if you can hear in the background. We got a thunderstorm rolling up on us right now.
Yep.
But so far what we have planted looks good. We did get set back by, I don't know, about 5 days, just because it was too wet to plant. But that's one of the nice things in the Central Sands. It is pretty sandy soils, at least a lot of it is. So we're still able to get our crops in. It does not look like it does over out west, or not west, east.
Yeah.
Shyocton is the way that you say that, by the way.
Okay.
So I think it's Shyocton.
I like it. Shyocton. I mean,
yes.
Read it, every time you drive by that area, like you see on the road sign. I guess, a lot of times, this is so embarrassing. I remember the pronunciations from the high school basketball tournament announcers, like the Randolph Rockets, some of those things just as a kid growing up in rural Wisconsin, like that was an exposure to a lot of the small communities if you hadn't been out in them. So I don't know all of them, and my apologies to Shyocton. I won't make that mistake again.
Mazo Maney.
You got it.
Love you guys.
Yep.
Nothing like Car Valley.
Nothing like it. So, what is the next step? And I guess in the logical progression, you have the potatoes in the ground. Some of those cold storage warehouses that we saw, are there still potatoes in them?
There are still potatoes in them, and the last potatoes will exit those sometime in July.
Wow.
Is what it is right now. So they've been in there for a long time. They're looking great. Give a lot of credit to the team for that. So, but yeah, I mean, the journey actually starts for all potato production about 10 years prior. And that's when new varieties come out, and they're starting to be developed, whether it's a private breeding program or university systems. A lot of them have their own potato breeding programs. And then it takes about 10 years for that seed to get to a large enough quantity to plant it on a commercial farm. From there, it'll go to a seed farm. Then it'll end up coming, to the commercial farm. But we started the process by bringing in certified seed, which is really important because it's disease-free.
Sure.
From places, Anago, Wisconsin produces a lot of that amazing seed. There's some other places in the U.S., but, Anago, right here at home, gotta love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, keep from here at home. It's amazing.
Yeah, keeping it local. So we started bringing that in that February, March time frame, and it has to go through a process. And we cut the seed, and then it takes a little time to warm up and be ready for planting. Then we'll plant it, and in about 45 days, the 30 to 45 days, they'll start peeping from the soil. And we'll take really good care of it. We'll do a lot of crop scouting. We'll make sure we take what we call petiole samples. And what that is we take our potatoes to the doctor, I should say, to the nutritionist every single week. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
And what we do is we make sure
this process, the potato, you're eating a potato, you really don't understand all that energy and love and care that goes into that potato. Sorry to cut you off, but it just
Yeah, no, 100%. But it's really cool because our potatoes are like high performance athletes. So we treat them as such. They need to perform for us, for the consumer. And the amount of care and attention that goes into it is just, to me, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it sure is.
I can see that, and the way you speak so glowingly and intelligently about the potato, You absolutely walking the right line in this life. My hat is so off to you and your entire family and operation. It's so impressive. I do have one question, and it's something that you referenced in response to the Food and Farm Exploration Center. I think sometimes folks also take for granted how large of a community it takes to be a family farm like yours. Just right on the spot, what does community mean to you?
Oh, I mean, community means a lot of things. First off, take care of the people that take care of you. I mean, number one, whether it's, working with the local schools, other community type centers, making sure that our team is taken care of. There's a lot of little things and a lot of big things that can be done. But when you come together and you work together, again, beautiful things can be accomplished, in the most simplest terms. And it comes down to the golden rule, treat others how you want to be treated, and, really exude that and try to live that, every day, for not just us, but for our team members.
Yeah.
So Jeremy, as some of us that do some gardening, home gardening, and we start our seeds at home, and we plan out what we want to see in the summer. We get excited about picking out seeds and doing all those plantings and starting from there. Do you go through a similar process, but on like infinitely bigger scale, in winter, where you look at, maybe I want to try this potato, or I want to take a plot over here, I want to try something different. Whereas we, maybe a couple dozen plants, you're growing a couple hundred of acres, if not more. What is that kind of winter, creative process look like for you?
Yeah, so I don't do the planning process for the crop. One of my partners, TJ Kennedy, and his team do that. They're way better than I am. I mean, it may sound like I know something about potatoes, but the reality is I don't. They do. But yeah, that planning process does. I mean, a lot of it starts actually 5 years before we start growing it. But the most part for this year, it started last fall with field selections. We're on a 3 to 4 year rotation, depending on the fields. And we make sure that we know what crops were planted before, what crops are coming after, what variety of potato works best in different soil types, what the nutrient plan is for that, when it needs to be planted, how long it can be stored, because different varieties can store for different durations. So there's a lot that goes into it. So you start out with plan A, and then by the end, because Mother Nature is going to throw that out the door, even before you start executing on that plan. So you get to a couple hundred plans that you iterate over the course of the year, but you have to start with something.
Sorry, I think whether we just at the end there we lost the connection with you, Jeremy. But Yep, still there.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Oh, I think it's that weather system that's coming through, Jeremy. It's given right here. So we're just connection is coming in and out for us. So
Sure.
Can you hear us? Can you see us right now?
I can hear you and see you right now. Woo!
Well, Jeremy, we can barely hear you. I had one big question that I've been looking forward to asking all day. It looks like I'm going to ask it, and I may not hear the answer from you, but I'm sure the people at home will hear the answer.
Sure.
How many potato chips come from one single potato?
Oh, I don't even have the answer on that, because it would be so different depending on the type of chip that you have, whether it's a thick cut, thin cut. So there is no real good answer to that.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, I can see you guys again.
Oh, there's one. Brown in the background.
Well, we're back.
Kind of.
Hey, Jeremy, we really appreciate your time here.
Yeah. That you do. I appreciate
Thank you. And if the weather's affecting that, it's kind of like in agriculture. You just have to pivot.
Let's see here. Say that last part again, Jeremy.
Oh, I said if the weather's affecting your internet connection, it's just kind of like agriculture. You just have to take the blow and take the pivot and find an alternative.
That's right.
Jim, you're a great man. Thank you so much. We love everything.
Oh, thank you.
Farmers are the backbone of this state, and great to hear your stories and attention you put into potatoes and the agricultural system here.
I echo that. Maybe should we live stream? That'd be better. For one
Say
moment.
hi.
Okay. But
Oh, yay.
hey,
And this is my daughter. This will be 6th generation.
Sixth generation. What's her name?
Hi.
This is Charlotte.
okay.
Oh, I think we're caught now, guys.
We're having a tough time. We're having some technical situation here with the internet coming in.
Yeah, no worries. Well, thank you again for everything. I very much appreciate it.
Okay.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Thanks, Jeremy. We'll talk to you soon, all right? Thank you so much. Let's go here.
Boy, oh boy. It's so fun when the technology doesn't work in the way that
I don't know if it's so much the technology. Let's see here. I know Dana, you're there. You're waiting for us. We're gonna come to you in 2 seconds. I see you in the background here. If you could turn your camera horizontally for us, that would be the best. If you could. Well, oh boy, that might be tough.
Are you directing and producing?
Yeah. Because now she's still vertical, but she's vertical now.
Well, maybe.
I think that looks good.
They're sitting on the side of the wall or something.
I wonder if that was Jerry's connection or our connection.
I mean,
it's not happening anymore though.
Hard to say. It's 150-year-old building, and we have good, reliable wireless here, but it still is a rural area, and with some effect those things. Maybe, you know what? PBS is supported by viewers like you. You can dial 1-800-236-3636 and see if they'll underwrite a Starlink for Wisconsin Foodie. We'll never lose again. We could be in Antarctica doing these things.
I mean, they could just send us an Ethernet cable that is very long. I mean, that could help.
Nobody does Ethernet anymore.
Next season, we're going to get this thing figured out. Almost like when I don't know, man. We're doing. Hey, Jim, Cheryl, we love you guys. We appreciate you. I want to go. Before we get Dana in here, I want to go back up here. Lionized hash browns. I know all of you people that are watching right now have a particular way you like to eat potatoes. Please share that with us. I mean,
lionized hash browns.
We got one here.
One.
Jeremy's connection was fine. It's us. It's our connection. But it does seem better now. I think the system's like, okay, it's time to wrap this up. Next.
Wow. It's a self-learning AI.
There's so much to talk to Jeremy about.
Seriously. I mean, that guy's understanding of potato farming and just like the agronomy science around it. One of the things you had asked earlier, like what were the part of the episode? I actually really, really enjoyed seeing just.
Wait, did I ask that?
Yeah, you did.
Oh,
it's okay. It happens to all of us. It's a commonly used phrase.
Yeah.
What I saw was just so many people involved in it. It wasn't just Jeremy and Alicia. It wasn't. I mean, the agronomists, the soil scientists. Obviously, you had the water specialists. You have all those pieces working in conjunction with. I mean, even the University of Wisconsin is up there. They have the Babcock Research Center.
Yeah.
You know, it's right down the road. So like there's so much that goes into the network of that farming community.
I mean, just think of the potato and what goes into a spud, right? I mean, before starting this work with the potato growers, who are a fantastic partner of ours, you look at this one, you look at a potato, you just don't understand energy from so many different people that go into growing that one vegetable.
Yeah,
Is it a vegetable?
Yeah, it's a vegetable, buddy.
Yeah.
Do you think it
I
was
don't even know. I'm still learning. In the chat, if you could tell us, I mean, I asked Jeremy, he wanted to know how many chips can come out of one potato, and I felt like he heard me and we couldn't hear because of some connectivity issues. If he did answer me, can you throw it in the chat so I know? If not, we're going to ask Dana here in a second because I know Dana knows.
We'll know
how many chips come with potato.
Let's bring her in. I mean, if we had an answer and it shows up in the chat, then
let's bring Dana in here. Let's go here. Dana,
Hi
what
guys.
are you doing?
We're getting done with baseball, so
Fun.
every night is sports.
I feel like every time we have a guest on, this happens. It's like coming from a soccer game or a baseball game. So how did baseball go tonight?
Good. It went well. We beat the rain. We're getting some of that weather that y'all are seeing down there too.
Okay.
And I love how they'll play baseball in the rain. That's my favorite, is sitting at a baseball game, watching your kid play, and it's like, let's just let them play. And you're like, wow, okay, it is pouring and we're all sitting here.
It's cool. Go. It's cool. Hey, Dana, I want to make sure that your time counts. So from your perspective, I guess, tell us a little bit about the Potato and Vegetable Growers Association, and these episodes are helpful and important.
Yeah, so the Wisconsin Potato and Vegetable Growers Association has existed since 1948. We're headquartered in Antigo, Wisconsin, which is where Wisconsin potato seed comes from. Fresh and processed potatoes, as you've learned, comes from the Central Sands and farther south. So we do have farms all throughout the state. What's interesting to me is that we are the third largest potato producing state in the nation. We're number one east of the Mississippi, and we produce, on average, 63,000 acres of potatoes every year, and that's done by roughly about 100 growers. So as the years have progressed and the number of farms has decreased, they've sold, they've rented out their land, we're still producing the same amount of potatoes, high quality potatoes and vegetables for the Midwest and Wisconsin. So that's a very interesting statistic to me because we've been able to maintain that throughout the generations and the decades with farmers feeding families, and that's why we exist.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, Dana, you do such incredible work getting the word out about potatoes in Wisconsin. And, just really, thank you for being there to support the farmers and that industry in general, because, it's one of those industries that needs the attention, that needs somebody to be on the rooftop screaming out about the amazing things that are happening here in Wisconsin when it comes to potatoes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the benefit to having agricultural and commodity associations, basically to represent growers on a state level so that what is happening legislatively in Madison, promotionally, is benefiting everybody as a whole instead of one particular area over another. And so we have a great team. We have a fantastic industry, a very colorful one at that. And it's really great to work with everyone.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your support. We always appreciate anytime our paths cross. And you're doing great work for the state of Wisconsin and their farmers.
One thing I'd love for you to talk a little bit about is the Healthy Grown Initiative. I know that's a really big initiative that we've talked about. We're trying to get the word out, but I'd love for you to talk a little bit about that initiative and what that means to the industry.
Yeah, I'm really glad you asked about that. So the Wisconsin Healthy Grown program has existed since the mid to late 90s, and it's our sustainability program that was kind of ahead of its time back in the day. Our industry worked with researchers at UW-Madison to come up with a sustainability standard that our customers could recognize, that the industry could recognize and adhere to, as a way of communicating to consumers the extra measures that growers are going through to make sure that their businesses, that their crop, that the potatoes are high quality and sustainable. So when we talk about sustainability, the Healthy Grown program focuses on environmental sustainability, but sustainability really is all encompassing for economic sustainability, for social sustainability, and for environmental. And the Healthy Grown program basically is an extra step for growers to go through to make sure that they're working directly with researchers to come up with standards on their farms specifically. So prescribed burns to restore natural ecosystems, native plants and animals support that habitat. So yes, there is a lot. When you look at the potato, there is a lot more that goes into that potato than what meets the eye, no pun intended, right?
And I love what they're doing.
I love that.
Awesome Farm, is doing a fantastic job with their like native restoration. And if you drive past their farm, which I do every time I come from Milwaukee to Viroqua, I go past one of the Awesome Farms that have just this beautiful sort of natural habitat that they're growing on the side of the road in conjunction with all of the the potato farms that they have right there. So Larry and that crew over there, and Linda, they're doing such a fantastic job of that word, and just love working with them. It's great what they're doing too to restore and to their work with conservancy.
Well,
Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to thank you again. Thanks. Are you getting rained on yet?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's starting.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for calling after the baseball game. And I hope things dry out a little bit, and we can have a great season together.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah, we'll look forward to chatting here in the off season. We're getting ready for 2027. So one season come to a close, and the next one's about to start. And can't wait to share all the cool stories we're doing. And I'm guessing you could probably figure in some potatoes into next season. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously.
Cool. Thank you, Dana. Really appreciate it.
All right, good night, guys.
Okay.
I love you with the raps. Well, you've been such a good job of wrapping it up, wrapping things going on.
Sometimes it's actually my hardest skill to
So you're working on it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, knowing how to it's not even I want to exit the conversation. I felt like with Dana, like I just was mindful of her time. Obviously she's coming out of a baseball game. I don't know what his team is this year.
I want to talk a little bit more about the baseball.
I know.
You're
on our way home, and it's like, yeah, exactly. I mean, she had a great time. I know that she is a powerhouse when it comes to advocating on behalf of the Potato and Vegetable Growers Association. And so, I'm always like, okay, if you want to take the off ramp, here's an off ramp. Here's another off ramp, and it works out. Usually, when I offer the guest an off ramp, that's when you jump in with a hot question, which is good, because it spices it up. The viewers at home think like, oh my gosh, maybe the thing is is it ending? What's going on?
I want to read a quick comment here on Facebook. It's a really good old friend of mine, Deb Deacon. Deb Deacon is she's done a lot for the food community in Milwaukee and the surrounding communities, and she was part of the Winter Farmer, the Milwaukee County Winter Farmers Market.
Yeah,
just a powerhouse in the area. She visits me all the time in Shorewood, and she just had a little comment. She said, "Hi, Arthur. I was just taking a break from washing dishes and turned to Facebook to write a comment on an Alderman's social media page," which is my second favorite thing to do. Lo and behold, and right there, Wisconsin Foodie talking potatoes with vegetables and fruit. I always look flavor, locally grown varieties. The German Butterball and the purple Viking potatoes are some of her top choices.
Those are good potatoes.
Deb, thank you for commenting. I miss you. I haven't seen you at the market for a little while. Hopefully you come pay us a visit at Shorewood this summer. It's always great to go up, and Deb's been on Wisconsin Foodie in the past, and hopefully it'll be sometime in the future. But big inspiration, and really thank you for everything you've done.
Sounds like a powerhouse.
Yeah, she's great. Deb is a fantastic human. Yeah, Cheryl and Jim try to help us out here with the potato chips. How many potato chips in a potato?
Yeah.
And it seems like it's a little bit more complicated. I just want a general, right? Like a general amount. Because from what it sounds like, what's the variety? What is it? A thick cut?
There has to be an average.
There has to be an average. Is it are we talking about 100? Are we talking 1,000? There's not 1,000. Right?
You don't think this is 1,000 chips? I don't know. But when we were in that testing facility where the chips were coming out, that was very thin. It was very, very thin.
That was thin.
So I bet you maybe you get, I don't know,
300?
Maybe 300. I was thinking 300, but that might be a little spicy. I don't know. There's only one way to find out.
I think I should go back to your house tonight after the show and just
No, I already ran my thumb.
Rip some chips.
I ran my thumb and my palm through a mandolin this morning already. So
mandolins should be illegal. Those things are the most dangerous tool.
But they are the most dangerous tool in the kitchen by far. But man, they are efficient. If you're cutting your entire salad line in about 30 minutes and you got all these, like we're selling daikon seeds, and I got rainbow carrots, I got radishes. So all these things are really stiff. Yeah. Like that's a lot of knife work. And sometimes if you're just pop,
yep.
And then you just run your whatever. So I'm not gonna make chips tonight, but maybe tomorrow. I'm because I'm right at it.
Okay. So looking forward to the future. We've got 2 more episodes to go. We're talking right now. We're sort of talking behind the scenes about something big for the last episode, like a big finale, like as far as the live show goes.
Oh yeah.
Nothing's solidified yet.
No.
But I'm going to throw it out that so the last episode of the season is kind of what happened with the last episode of the season.
Don't tell the story. Not yet.
No,
not yet.
All right.
All
right, they got to come back. We got to get them back. Right. Yes, we got to pull them back.
Yep.
Next week.
Yeah. What's happening next week?
Yeah, next week.
I am stoked for next week.
Next week's going to be great. So we're using somebody else's computer tonight for this, so I don't have the trailer again.
That's okay.
But, visit us on Facebook. Check us out on Facebook. Go, like, subscribe, do what you need to do, because that trailer can be posted for next week coming up on Monday. So every Monday evening, sometimes in the morning, it depends on how I'm feeling that day. You can check out our Facebook page, and that's the trailer for that week's show. This week, Cafe and Rady's Volta.
Yes.
Man, 2 fantastic restaurants.
Yeah, and I'm a huge proponent, and I'm not saying this as it guides our programs at all, but I love small town restaurants, and I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't get much smaller than Plum City or Pepin. I mean, I'm from a small town.
Pepin is one thing. Plum City is a whole nother thing.
Yeah, maybe 120 people there. Yeah, that's me.
Dude, I swear to God, I'm gonna charge you for this.
I've dropped this now probably 20 times.
Yeah, you can see it. It's falling apart. There's pieces coming off.
They can't see it. You're ranting at them now. Well, that's what duct tape's for. And
I need more tea.
Okay, and on that note,
no, we're not going yet. It's not over yet. Stop rapping. You're staying here. We're doing 2 hours tonight, everybody.
No way.
Yes, we are.
My clientele can't handle that.
No, we're doing 2 hours.
The Cafe is going to fold on itself.
Dipping tonight.
Oh, man.
So Pepin, Nettie's Volta. Man, this place is just such a cool little place that does, a prefix menu. And it's just the creativity in the kitchen, using locally sourced food. You're going to love this place. This place is going to blow up after this episode. So if you're watching, I know a couple of you are still with us. Go and make those reservations right now. Look at their reservation system. Make sure you make reservations now before next Thursday. I'm telling you, this place is going to be slammed after the episode because that's just what happens.
Yeah, Nettie's Volta, very small, very quaint, very well-articulated restaurant. Daycare, just really bringing the thunder in teeny tiny city. Fun fact, first football game I ever played in high school was in Plum City. I think it was a 3.5-hour bus ride for me, but oh my gosh, it was a long bus ride.
It's just going back to being in Plum City, being in small towns. I know, good chance. Coming to Baroque would open up a restaurant like the Dripless Cafe.
It was Harborview.
Yeah,
Harborview showed me that I could do it, honestly. And that, I think they've been a restaurant for what, 46 years? I think they're the same age I am. Wow. I am 46, yes. So like it's the same age, and it has been existing in Pepin, which is, if you haven't been there, like, oh my gosh, it is the most quintessential idyllic. You feel like you're in Cape Cod, kind of. Just the local flavor that's in there. Remember, gentlemen, the professor gave me that book of poetry.
I remember a lot of things from that trip.
Yeah,
not a lot that can be talked about on camera.
No, but like that
great trip though.
Yeah, that gentleman was absolutely exquisite.
Oh yeah, the guy at the bar.
Yeah, I mean, I still flip through that book of poetry, and it's a really unique part of Wisconsin.
Beautiful place.
Yep,
right by the water. They make this black butter cod.
Yeah, Bear Noir
cod.
It's not cod, it's halibut, and it's good.
Shoot.
I mean, you're.
I'm so close.
You hit butter
so far
and black.
away.
Yeah. It's fish and black. And that, I don't know.
I just love the concept of opening. It takes such a risk to open a restaurant in such a small town, in such a small community. But what it can do for a community like Viroqua, like Pepin, like Plum City, it's a beautiful thing, and it drives that tourism to smaller towns, and that's kind of what it's all about. Getting out of the city, and it's about coming out to a place like Plum City. How many people, raise your hand in the chat if you've ever been to Plum City?
Well, I know Cheryl has.
Luke, just a quick question for you. What position did you play football?
That's
Patsy Flynn.
Patsy Flynn. Well, Patsy Flynn, on the JV freshman team, I was a quarterback. And
you
I was
like a quarterback.
I was also a safety. I look more now like a fullback. I got a little bit more girth to me than I did when I was 15. But it was fun. I actually, sadly, my second game of football, I blew up my ACL and broke my tibial head. So I was pretty hobbled up, and I never played football after the second game. So Plum City is really all I have. Oh. But I was really good at forensics.
Yeah. Hey, look at you now.
Look at me now.
Yeah. It could have been way different.
Oh,
with the draft tonight, you could have been.
Yeah.
Well, you could have been
46-year-old.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, Jim and Cheryl, Sue and Mike, if you guys are watching, Patsy Flynn's giving you guys a run for your money. She's been very active.
Oh my gosh. Are you goading the people watching?
I don't know. Patsy's getting up there. So Patsy, thank you.
I've never seen such behavior.
Patsy, what's your favorite way to eat a potato, make a potato? Let us know. When you respond, that'll be the last of this. Alicia Pavelski chimes in here. Alicia, well, thank you. Alicia says, thank you for what you do to tell the stories of Wisconsin food. You're amazing to work with.
Oh, thanks.
Alicia, you are amazing to work with.
Yeah,
you
seriously.
were a lot of fun to work with. You did a great job helping wrangle Jeremy in. I don't know if it came across, but Jeremy ate a lot of chips. He was snacking on chips all day. And it's hard to...
How did you not get that on the edit? We could have just done the 22-minute montage of K-Dog Hammer and Chips, which would have been great.
I think that was a version of the credits at one point. Was just like a 5-minute like montage of just eating chips, talking about eating chips.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah,
they're the best chips.
Those chips were. You've never had a chip from a potato that just came out of the ground and salted and seasoned.
Yeah, it's pretty exquisite.
Anyways, thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Dana. Jim, I know you're watching in the car. Patsy, you got to go with mashed potato. You can't go wrong with the mashed potato. Although mashed potato is just there's so many ways you can mash potato, so many different things you can do to a mashed potato. I'd love to hear more about that. Anyways, we don't have time for that because you don't want to do another hour.
No. That's absolutely right. This is Luke taking the off ramp. But I lead a week these live streams, and I am so thankful. I'm so thankful, number one, that we live in a place that is as food secure as we are here in the upper Midwest. I'm so thankful that we have a wonderful network of neighbors and communities all across, from if it's Iowa, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, the Dakotas. We are definitely strong in agriculture, and I have so much pride in that. I'm very, very grateful to those of you who engage in that. I'm just grateful that I live in a place with really, really good neighbors. I think at the end of the day, sometimes that's the win, man. That's why we do what we do. And I'm just so thankful to have this opportunity to share it all with you.
Surround yourself with good people and good food, and you can't go wrong.
Amen, brother.
All right. Hey, love you.
Be a good neighbor.